Hello, and thank you everybody for joining this session today. Welcome everybody who will be watching us also online. This is going to be a quick tour on protocol usage, general training about what we do here in ClearSource Translation. So today here with me, we have Ornelta, Marinella, Anna, and Muhannad. So hello guys, I hope you're doing good, and thank you for joining this training session.
Hello, thank you.
Sure. So let me start sharing my screen and please let me know whenever you are able to see it. Can you
Yes.
see it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. So let's get down to business. Now, interpreter training. First of all, we need to be able to know what is an interpreter, right? What is an interpreter? What do we do? What are some of the main things we need to achieve so we can be called an interpreter? There will be different people also involved in the calls because that's basically what we are going to do. We're going to get these calls from our clients or the English speaker representatives, and they will be connecting us with the person who speaks the target language. In this case, that could be either Spanish, Albanian, Arabic, any type of language, right? So, who is going to be involved in these calls? That's what we're going to review right now. So, we have different people involved. The first thing you need to know, like I said, is the client. Who is the client? As I already mentioned, is the English speaker representative. In the calls, this person can be a doctor, it could be a customer service representative, it could be a nurse, it could be an adjuster, somebody who speaks English, right? So this is our client. This is the person who will be the first contact with us whenever you pick up the phone. Then you do your introduction, which we are going to do in a minute. Um, we also have LEP. Everybody who is watching this video, you should already gotten the protocol guidelines, right? And you already, if you read it, which I'm pretty sure you did, you have an idea what LEP is. So can anybody here tell me? You can raise the hand here on Skype, right? You just press this button and let me know what LEP means. Only one. There you go. Go ahead, Arnelta.
Limited English proficiency. Sometimes LES, limited English speaker.
Okay. It could be limited English proficient or limited English speaker. Either one or the other. This is referring to the person who speaks target language. Target language is the language we are interpreting for, right? Usually the target language is your native language, right? So we have these two people. Some other times we also going to have operators. These are kind of our co-workers. This could be the customer service representative. The client sometimes won't be able to connect directly with your language, so they will call customer service. Customer service will call you and they will connect you with a call. Simple. And then it's also you, the interpreter. So, like I asked first, what is an interpreter? What is an idea you have about somebody who is an interpreter? Can you tell me a little bit about that, Anna, please? What is an interpreter?
Yes, of course. The interpreter would be the bridge that would be able to connect the communication between our client, which is our English speaker, and then our LEP, who is the native language speaker.
Great. Thank you very much. So, yes, the interpreter is the bridge of communication. Simple. So, this is the people who you will have involved in the calls, usually, right? Client, LEP, operator, and you, the interpreter. There are some other factors or people who will probably intervene, but you will get to know a little bit more about that once you get into full training. Do you have any question here or we're clear?
Oh, good.
Good. Perfect. So with this information now, you know, when I talk about LEP, I'm talking about the person who speaks your language. And when I talk about client, this is the English speaker representative. So this training is going to give you different things or different tools that you can use when you are taking calls. We're going to go over all these points that we have here through this training session. So please pay attention, because at the end you will be completing a quiz about all the information we are sharing here today. So here we go. The first thing is when you're initiating the call. There are different people, like we talked, that is involved. We have the client, the LEP. So this is an example of the introduction you're going to do. Like I said, this is an example because eventually, once you are in the ends or last steps of your process, there could be things that will be different, but I will be explaining you why and what are going to be the differences. But generally, this is the way we do it. Here is an example. Hello, my name is Ruben. My interpreter ID is 1234, and I will be your Spanish interpreter. Spanish because that's my native language. Please speak in clear and short sentences so that I can interpret everything accurately. How may I assist you? How may I help you? What can I do for you, right? The client here will explain what they need from you, which usually is just the interpretation services, right? They have somebody on the line, they have somebody in the office, and they need your assistance doing this interpretation. And after they tell you what they need, you go ahead and talk to the LEP, the target language speaker. I will say this is in Spanish just to give you the example. So this would be something like, hola, yo seré su intérprete de español. Todo lo que usted diga se mantendrá confidencial. Por favor, hable en oraciones claras y cortas para que yo pueda interpretar todo con exactitud. After I talk to the LEP, I talk again to my client and I say, we may proceed. This is so the client can understand that we are good to go with the call. Remember, they don't speak Spanish, right? That's why they are calling me. So they really don't know when I'm done with the LEP introducing myself. So I talk to them and I say, we may proceed now. After you say this, the conversation will start. There are a couple things you need to keep in mind when you are in the conversations. One is that we always use formal you, right? The formal way of the pronoun you, which in English is only you. There's no other formal way or something. But there are different languages that we do. For example, Spanish, instead of saying tú, we say usted, which is a very formal and respectful way to refer to people. At the end of the call, you close it. This is the closing. So you say, thank you for calling. This is your Spanish interpreter, Ruben, ID number 123, signing off. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Simple. Questions? All right. So Marinela, I need your help here. Please, can you help me doing this process? Let's say that I'm calling you. And basically what I need from you is just to read these steps. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's say that I'm calling you in 3, 2, 1, ring, ring.
Hello, my name is Marinela. My interpreter ID is 1234, and I will be your Albanian interpreter. Please speak in clear and short sentences so that I can interpret everything accurately. How may I assist you?
Thank you, interpreter.
Përshëndetje.
Yes, I have somebody in the line here that speaks your language. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Okay. Përshëndetje, unë do të jem përkthyesi juaj I gjuhës shqipe. Gjithçka që do të thoni do të mbetet konfidenciale. Ju lutem të flisni në fjali të qarta, të shkurtra, në mënyrë që unë të mund të interpretoj çdo gjë në mënyrë të saktë. We may proceed now.
Thank you. And like I said, the conversation will start here. They will ask questions, say this and the other. And in this case, Marinela will be interpreting from English to Albanian, Albanian to English, both sides. And then we have the close call. Can you go ahead, Marinela?
Sure. Thank you for calling. This is your Albanian interpreter, Marinela, ID number 123, signing off.
Perfect. Thank you. So as simple as that, right? There will be things different from language to language. Of course, instead of Spanish, she said Albanian, so on and so forth. And then, of course, when you talk to the LEP, you talk in your native language. So As you can see here, we said, I need you to please speak in clear and short sentences so that I can interpret everything accurately. Do you feel that that's something important or relevant to mention? Ornelta? Yes? Why?
Yes, sure. I believe it is because this way we can manage the information that we got, and we are accurate when we interpret it on the other side, and everything makes sense. The sentences are not like not connected, like, hey, I was there, I came here, I met her, she told me, and it doesn't make sense. This way, when it is shorter, we can manage it in a better way.
Exactly, right? So basically, you're setting this expectation to both of them so they can speak in short statements. Sometimes this will be done, some other times it won't. So what do we do, right? What are we going to do if that happens? Then there are some do's and don'ts, things that we can do actually to manage situations or within the call, and things we don't do because it's out of our duties. So we have different points here. Anna, can you help me please read in the first 3 points?
Yes, of course. Always interpret in first person. Use formal form of you when addressing someone in native language. Keep same level of speech than the speaker.
Thank you very much, Anna. So as I was telling you, we always used first person speech. What does this mean? Well, it means that instead of saying, oh, she's telling me that she needs some help because she feels sick. That's not the way we do it. Instead we say, I need help because I'm feeling sick, right? So that's the first person. We're always going to use I, me, myself, we, right, in case it's needed, ourselves. This is to make the message clear, right? We don't want confusion in the speech. If we start saying she needs, he needs, they say, it's going to be really, really confused. So that's why we keep first person speech. Thank you, Anna. Then we also have the formal you, like I was explaining, and we keep same level of speech than the speaker. So we try to copy the tone of voice, or we try to keep the same level when it comes to the type of words they're using, right? So on and so forth. Marinela, can you help me with the next 3 points?
Of course. Interpret all filler words such as well, you know, okay, etc. Speak loud and clear. Display professionalism.
Thank you. So you hear them saying, well, you know, those things we have to include them, right? We are here to be as accurate as possible. We don't add them though, right? If somebody's not saying okay after you interpret, you don't say okay. Usually we have those buffer words, if we can call it that way, and we say all the time okay or yes, no, yes, thank you. We don't really need to say anything if we are not hearing that from our clients. Loud and clear, right? You know, always keep it professional. If you are going to be talking or interpreting, you want to make sure that they can understand what you're saying. So you speak loud and clear and you keep it professional. How to keep it professional if I'm just interpreting what they're saying? Well, since the moment you introduce yourself, the way you talk, right? The way you set expectations, you sound professional one way, or you cannot sound professional. You can sound boring. Hello, thank you for calling. I want to go to bed or something. So those things, right, will make the difference. How professional you keep it, it's just by the way you sound. So, you know, that's very important. Of course, sometimes some people will be getting video calls, so you have to look good. You have to, I don't know, right, comb your hair, brush your teeth, take a shower before you start working. So that's part of your professionalism. Okay, so all right, let's move forward. Ornelta, can you please help me with the last 3?
Sure. Remember the gender of speaker. Follow the story and concentrate during the call. Wait a moment before you start interpreting to avoid overlapping.
Thank you. So the gender of the speaker is important. How can I know that? Well, first of all, the sound of the voice, or you always wait for the client to refer to them as she or he, right? That's another important thing. So you don't get confused. It could be, there are some confusion sometimes, but like I said, the client is usually going to refer to them as the right gender. Follow the story and concentrate. Pay attention, basically, you know, focus on what you're doing. Don't get distracted put your phone on mute or something so you don't have to be checking messages or getting calls in the middle of the call, right? So yeah, you have to be focused. And it's always good to give 2-3 seconds, maybe not more than 3, after somebody stopped talking, so you can make sure that they don't have anything else to say, so you can make sure that you got all the information properly and that you're ready to interpret. I know it sounds like a lot of things to do in just a few seconds. With the practice that you will get during the training, you will be able to manage all those details. So you're making sure now that you don't talk on top of them, right? That they are talking and you start talking and you got the message correctly. We have some more points. These are the ones we just reviewed, or the do's, and then we have some don'ts. Anna, can you help me with the first 3 again, please?
Yes, of course. Don't add or omit any part of the message. Don't change the meaning. No strange noises on the line, sneeze, yawn, etc. Use the mute button.
Thank you. So, well, this is kind of obvious, right? Don't do it. Never. Don't change the meaning. Don't do that, right? It's just as simple as that. Just deliver what you got. I know that there could be some difference between language to language because, yes, it is English and we have to interpret to a different language. But as long as you definitely deliver the same meaning, the same message, we should be good. If sometimes we can use different words for whatever reason that we are going to discuss later on. No strange noises. So if you have the USB headset, you should have something like this. This small control here gives you the, which I know that you couldn't hear, but this is the mute button, right? You can also use it in the app. In this case, I have it on. This is important. We're working from home, so the neighbor can be having a party. I don't know, right? Somebody will be knocking at your door. If you have pets, I have a pet. My dog gets crazy and starts barking like he's gonna die or something, right? So, you know, those things are out of my control because I'm here with you, and that can happen. So we just need to use our resources. What resources in this case? A simple mute button. Of course, you have to remember to unmute once that's done. Okay. Then we have 3 more things. So, Marinela, can you help me with those 3?
Yes, sure. Avoid using double interpretation of same statement. If you don't know, check first. Don't have conversation with the parties.
Thank you. What do you understand? Anybody can tell me here. Avoid using double interpretation. Do you have any idea what that could be? Or nothing?
Yes.
Okay, let's go, Marinela, tell me.
For example, when you are not sure that you heard clearly one word and you get stuck in this word, it doesn't mean that to get yourself out of situation, you are going to repeat the statement that you just have interpreted. You have to be faster, resourceful, and to manage the situation. Because if you double interpret the same statement, it will show unprofessionalism of interpreting.
Exactly, like you're not sure about what you're doing, right? It's like, yeah, I feel sick. No, I'm feeling bad. That's double interpretation, right? And in the end, it doesn't look good. So we just need to make sure. And like it says over here, if you don't know, check. How do we check? Ask for repetition, ask for confirmation. And of course, we don't get engaged into conversations with either of the sides, not English speaker or LEP. All right.